Hi, I just wanted to talk about trauma and sexual molestation, uh, what happened in my life and how it affected my life. I'm putting this out here. It's very painful for me, but I'm putting this out here just in case it could help somebody else that has not dealt with it or is not reaching out for help or anything like that. If my story can help one person to reach out and get help, then telling my story is the best thing that I can do. Um, when I was a child, I used to spend summers with my grandparents, and uh, this one particular summer day, I decided to go to my cousin's house and visit. I was about between the ages of 6 and 8. I don't remember exactly how old I was, but I know I was that young because we were still living in a different house. Um, but my cousins lived in the next farm over, so I would go over and play with them. This particular day, I went over and they were not there, but the grandfather was there. And he had told me that they were out and they would be back shortly. I could come in the house and wait. So I did. While I was there waiting, he sexually molested me. I did not know what he was doing, but I knew it felt wrong. Um, and it didn't feel good. It felt shameful. So I I left there quickly and I went home, not home, but to my grandparents' house. And I tried to deal with it and understand what was happening to me, but I didn't really know. All I know was I felt shameful and embarrassed, um, and I felt like I had done something wrong. So uh, I didn't I didn't ever tell anybody except for I did tell my cousin when I was finally able to see her about it, and she was the same age as me. We were swinging on the swings, and I wanted to tell somebody, so I figured I'd tell her. Um, so I told her what happened, and she just accused me of lying and wanting her to not or to hate her own grandfather. So um, after that, I never told anybody my whole life um, until I was much older, and I'll go into that a little bit later in the video. So that happened to me. That was my first time that I was molested. Luckily, it was only one time because I never put myself in that situation again. But how it affected me is I didn't trust old men because he was old. I didn't trust old men. I didn't want to be around them. Every time I was near them in like a room or something, I would get anxiety. And I didn't understand why, but later on in my life when I got some treatment, all this came about, and I was able to realize, some of the things that I was going through. Uh, I was also molested by one of my great uncles, uh, a cousin, uh, never intercourse, just touching, but still, like, that's wrong, and it was, I never wanted any of that. It never felt right to me, and I didn't want it. I didn't ask for it. I didn't feel like I had given signals, that that's something that I wanted. Uh, but those two made me feel very ashamed, and I never shared it. Um, but again, I never put myself in those situations where I would be alone with somebody, a male, uh, because I just felt scared. Um, and then the last time was I was engaged to my first husband, and his friend tried to push himself on me when we were alone one time, and I told my soon-to-be husband what happened, and he did not believe me either. He said I was just trying to come between him and his best friend, and so since I had been told that. it was my fault, or I was telling tales, or the way that people reacted to me when I did tell, I just sucked it up and kept swallowing it and swallowing it and swallowing it. Well, it affected my whole life by not dealing with it or not reaching out and telling somebody. It affected my whole life. Uh, Back in 2016, the end of 2016, uh, I overdosed on sleeping pills because I just had enough of it, enough of everything, enough of the world. I felt like I was unloved, uh, and I just wanted the pain to go away. So I did that, and I was pink. I went to the hospital and I was pink slipped, which I don't know where you are watching this, but where I live, they call it pink slipped. But I was put into a psychiatric facility, um, and when I was there, I met my now current psychiatrist. And through therapy and working with counseling and group therapy and individual therapy, a lot of things that had happened to me in my life made sense to me now, and I began to be able to deal with it. It's still painful to talk about, as you can see. I'm emotional right now talking about it, but it's something that needs to be said. I just want to put that out there. It affected my relationships with my parents, with friends. I didn't trust people. I wouldn't let them in easily. Uh, my own daughters, I neglected them. I became an alcoholic for many years, pretty much a decade. A decade of my life is gone, and a lot of it I don't remember because I was trying to numb the pain, self-medicate, is what a lot of people talk about. Uh, I went through hell and I put other people through hell, and because of that, I don't have a relationship with my youngest daughter or my grandchildren with her. Uh, I'm trying to have a relationship, but she's closed to it, so all I can do is keep trying, and hopefully, eventually, maybe she'll forgive me for some of the things I did or did not do. I was very neglectful because I was so self-involved in myself and in my drinking. When she needed me the most, I wasn't there. I wasn't there emotionally, mentally. I was a broken woman. I was abused by mostly all my adult relationships. The men that I seemed to navigate to or get with, they were abusive. One was physical, and the other two were emotional, uh, emotionally and mentally. So that actually they are the ones. The last one that I was with before my husband, he's the one that actually broke me. He tore me down. He made me feel like I was unlovable. Nobody else would love me. He always put me down every time that I succeeded in something and was proud of myself. He put me down about it. It seemed like the more money that I made, because I made more money than him, every time I would get like a raise and be excited about it, that would piss him off, and he would be mad, and he would say nasty things to me, call me names. Uh, but I was a broken woman when I finally decided I couldn't put up with it anymore, and I took those sleeping pills. Luckily, I didn't kill myself. It's now 2024, uh, and I've been in psychiatric treatment since 2017. I have good days and bad days. I'm on medication uh, because I've been diagnosed with depression and anxiety. God, God knows why, nothing could have done that to me but myself, but I just wanted to let anybody or out there, it doesn't have to be a woman. But if you're feeling bad or something has happened to you that you don't feel you can share with your family or friends, uh, reach out to somebody. Reach out to anybody. Uh, don't say, I'm done, and just go away or just do yourself in. That's not the answer. That's a very permanent answer to a temporary situation. Um, you can get help. There are people out there that help, and I truly believe that my psychiatrist saved my life. I'm currently married. I've been married for 14 years, I think. Maybe a little bit longer. I forget. I'm not good with math. Uh, and I have a good husband. He treats me well. Uh, I was lucky enough to see my grandchildren be born. Uh, to know my grandchildren. I've got two grandchildren that are in the teenage years. Um, to be able to experience a lot of good things in my life. So, uh, if you're struggling with anything, call somebody, reach out. You can always dial 911. Nobody is ever going to tell you you wasted their time for calling. If you feel you need help or you want the help, whatever you're struggling with, I was struggling with addiction, alcohol addiction, and I finally reached out. And when I finally reached out, I felt so much weight off my own shoulders because now I wasn't carrying it by myself. I had people to help me carry that load and maybe get rid of some of the load. Uh, don't stuff it, don't swallow it. The way, if you don't deal with it, you're actually really dealing with it. It's going to come out eventually, or it's going to come out in other ways that aren't nice and aren't good. And don't, and they make you a person that you don't want to be around, and other people don't want to be around. Uh, please call somebody, ask for help. There are people that love you and care about you, and that want you in this world. God bless you, and I hope this video will help somebody else.